Hey, welcome back to my AK47 chapter of the Exploring Narcissus series with me, Asian Psycho, aka Toast98. And like I mentioned in the AK103 Gold Plated review, I mentioned that I will be doing the AN94 in conjunction with the AK47 series to like combine them all together. And some of you may be wondering why I'm doing this, and like for example, the AK74U family I treat it as a separate family on its own, yet it's technically still classified as a variant of the AK47. Well, the AN94 is a closer variant, like a closer relative to the AK47. And besides, even though Combat Arms does designate the AK74U family as assault rifles, the AK74U and not the AK74M, it was originally designated as a submachine gun. So even though it is a variant of the AK47 by technical means, it is still a submachine gun, and I would like to get it as close as possible to real life without actually going into real life stuff. Just making it limited to combat arms and game mechanics and stuff like that. But yeah, for the time being, the AN94 and the AN94 Tact OP will be part of the AK47 series, or the chapter rather. And I know that I did the AN94 Tact OP review before and called it an extra. I had forgotten to realize that the AN94 Tact OP has a relative, or has a variant, and that's the original AN94. So I'm going to be combining them all together to make a 6-episode chapter on the AK47 family, like a huge family kind of. And yeah, let's get started on the review. Now, the AN94 is an NX standard weapon. It is one of few, or it's actually one of quite a few weapons that it has no other variants other than NX variants. Like, for example, the Rec 7 only has its own NX standard variant, and it's got the Rec 7 Rangers, which is the NX rare variant of it. And AN94 is kind of like that, where it only has an NX standard variant and a forgeable variant. So there you go. Moving right along into its stats. The stats on the AN94, sorry, not the AK47. The AN94 is very similar to the AK47 in that, because I mean, it is a relative of the AK47, so you would expect the stats to be pretty similar, and they are for the most part. There are some major differences though in the stats, first of which is the rate of fire. The rate of fire has been increased from 2 over the original AK47, from 68 to 70. Now, depending on how you can look at this, the rate of fire can be either a good thing or a bad thing for you. Whereas higher rate of fire usually means good things. Rate of fire, you need to take into consideration that rate of fire, if it's too high, then it'll start going out of hand, and I'll get into why the rate of fire on the AN94 is disadvantageous. I can't speak English today. For some people, or most people rather, but then for the time being, it is an improvement, just statistically speaking, over the AK47. Accuracy has also been increased by 2 whole points, from 90 to 92, making the AN94 the most accurate assault rifle, if not one of the most accurate assault rifles. I think the only other competing assault rifles would be like the 90 accuracy assault rifles, like the AK47 itself and the G36 family of guns. And the AN94 is definitely one of the plus sides to this rifle. Accuracy is the highest of assault rifles in combat arms. Recoil has been reduced by 1 point from 68 to 67, but I've got a really big problem with that. I honestly don't feel like it's been reduced at all. In fact, I feel like it's been increased. The reason that I say it is because of the fact that per shot, it feels like it spreads out a lot more than the AK47. Like, if you remember back in my AK47 review, I said that you could, like, Tapfire, you can spray the first few bullets and the spray wouldn't expand as much, and then after like the first 2 or 3 bullets, then they would start kicking around like crazy. The AN94's bullets, as soon as you fire them, the spread goes wild. Like, I cannot emphasize how wild they get. As soon as you fire them, you have to try it out in order to learn for yourself just how crazy of a beast this gun is in terms of recoil. And going back to rate of fire, why rate of fire can be disadvantageous is the fact that, coupled with this recoil, this means that the recoil spread will get so high that the gun won't have time to let its built-in center speed revert the center speed back, the spread back to normal in time for you to be able to consistently maintain a good hipfire spread, and thus this creates a very bad recoil spread for users, especially on people who don't know how to control AK47 style recoil. It'll be a huge problem for them because they start going full auto with this thing. They'll be like, oh my god, I don't know how to control this thing, and they'll freak out. And they don't know what to do, and subsequently they die and think that this gun is complete garbage, or in fact, it's really not if you know how to use it properly. So yeah, those are its statistics, and Recoil Spread, I kind of talked about that already. Recoil Kickback, I've already kind of talked about it too. And Recoil Controlability, I already talked about that too, what do you know? So basically, recoil is definitely something to worry about on the AN94, no doubt about it. Now, the Tapfire Ability on the AN94 is definitely doable, because even though it does have a 2 increase in rate of fire, you can still Tapfire with this thing very easily. So yeah, definitely use Tapfire at long range because you're gonna need it. It does have 92 accuracy, so you might as well use that long range. Plus, with this very high damage at 48, that means that it's got a very big, very good damage drop off for range. Moving on towards the sprint drawback. The sprint drawback is actually surprisingly very quick. As you guys can see me running around in on this gameplay, whenever I sprint and stop sprinting to bring up my gun again, it's very quick. It's a very simple animation, and you can definitely be able to run and gun with this AN94 quite easily. Moving on to the draw speed. The draw speed of the AN94 is similar to the AK47. It just has a different animation, draw animation from the original AK47. Center speed, like I said before, it's a huge problem on the AN94. Its center speed is slow as shit, maybe even slower than AK47's, we never know, but it's still very slow. Reload speed is actually very fast because the actual reload animation is very simple. All you need to do, all your character needs to do is just pop out the magazine and pop in a new one, and that's pretty much it, as you can see right there. Moving on to the fire modes. The AN94 is a unique gun in that it has the only 2-round burst function in this entire game out of any assault rifle. Once again, the AN94 is the only weapon in combat arms capable of firing a 2-round burst, so definitely keep that in mind. Moving on to its luck. Oh, by the way, the 2-round burst does function like the AK103's 3-round burst. It'll significantly decrease your spread size while you're hip firing. Moving on to the luck on the AN94. The AN94 is surprisingly very lucky, and this may be due to the fact that it has very unpredictable recoil and heavy recoil, so use it to your advantage. Ammo capacity, it has a standard 30 rounds per magazine and 90 reserve, so nothing too special there. Key physical characteristics, I would have to say that it does have like an overbarrel kind of thing to it, and it has like a muzzle brake kind of thing. I don't think you can put a silencer on this thing, but I'm not too sure. I have to check again. And muzzle noise, it has a very loud, kind of low frequency-ish, but still very loud muzzle report. It's like a ba 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 ba. Once again, I fail at imitating gun noises. And yeah, and the attachment options, I think you can attach everything except for suppressors. And fireteam worthy, yeah. Quarantine worthy, not really. And frank personal opinions, AN94 is a very good gun. It's just that you need to learn how to control the recoil, otherwise you're not going to be able to use this for jack shit. And anyways guys, thanks for watching. I know this this video has sounds really rushed, but I really do need to get to sleep. I'm starting over my words. I'm about to fall asleep right now, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys later.